Hi, you guys. This is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. We're hanging out downtown. We're with the Rainbow Coalition. We're actually here at the conference, Creating Opportunity Conference, because you have to create an opportunity and you have to walk it out, right? You know what I always say. But we actually going to bring the event to you because we love you so here at Good Deeds. We actually have Hillary Clinton in the house. We have Reverend Jesse Jackson. We have a lot of changers in the world, and you are a changer as well. You just got to walk in your purpose. You got to don't stop. You got to get it. I want you to let your friends and family know, let people know to look at this awesome capture. We're going to give you clips. We're going to give you information that we actually can impact all of our lives. This is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye.
Sometimes it's hard to tell the night from day. Still that hope that lies within is reassured as I keep my eyes upon the distant shore. I know He'll lead me safely to that blessed place He has prepared. But if the storms don't cease, and if the winds keeps on blowing, my soul has been anchored in the Lord. Though the storms keep on raging in my life, and sometimes it's hard to tell the night from day, still that hope that lies within is reassured as I keep my eyes upon the distant shore. I know He'll lead me safely to that blessed place He has prepared. But if the storms don't cease, and if the winds keeps on blowing, my soul has been anchored in the Lord. Oh, I realize that sometimes in this life we're gonna be tossed by the waves and the currents that seem so fierce. But in the Word of God, I got an anchor, and it keeps me steadfast and unmovable despite the times. But if the storms don't cease, and just in case the winds they keep on blowing in my life, my soul's been anchored in the Lord. My soul, My soul has been anchored. My soul has been anchored. My soul has been anchored. My. The billows may roll, the breakers may dash. I shall not sway because he holds me fast. So dark the days, the clouds in the sky. I know it's alright, 'cause Jesus is not my soul, yeah. My soul, my soul, my soul. Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraw thyself from thee, I don't know where else I want to go, 'cause I'm so, yeah. My soul, my soul, my soul has been anchored in the Lord.
Let me say what it is to once again introduce my friend and sister, our special guest, Hillary Rodham Clinton, candidate for the President of the United States of America. We speak so often of unity and hope as the key to change, and vision, as the Bible says, without vision, the people perish. In the New South, the walls of humiliation and barbarism have come down. We share public schools and facilities. The fundamental shift is from racial battleground, where they were all losers, to economic common ground, where they are all winners, to moral higher ground. We will do the right thing and feel good about it ourselves. We didn't know how good baseball could be until everybody could play. The reason we accept the outcome of these athletic events, when Alabama plays LSU or Georgia Tech, or the Falcons, the Panthers, whenever the playing field is even, and the rules are public, and the goals are clear, and the referees are fair, and the score is transparent, we can accept the outcome. But there's some unfinished business in the South, a tug of war for the soul of the South and the soul of America. Shall we go forward by hope or backwards by fear? Often old cultural habits die slowly. We've learned to survive apart, but as a greater challenge, we must now learn to live together. Black and white and brown play ball together. We fight wars together, we eat together. We must choose economic security over racial fears together. Repeat, that we must choose economic security over racial fears together for the soul of the New South. Poverty. South Carolina has 1 million people in poverty today, or 250,000 without health insurance. A state with a $7 billion budget, or 40% from the federal government, but rejects $12 billion in Medicaid. More whites are affected than blacks. That's true in every southern state. That's true in every southern state, from Virginia around to Texas. 1/3 of poor people in Georgia work every day. Affordable health care should be common ground and moral higher ground. Student loan debt is greater than credit card debt. Some of our best minds cease to dream of going to college or get there and can't stay. Common ground. Corporate justice. Companies are coming south, from auto to technology. BMW, Mercedes, Boeing, they must look like the constituents that they serve. Urban policy has been abandoned. The banks targeted the vulnerable middle class. They drove millions into poverty. Banks will bail out, the people left out. Blacks and Latinos were hit the loudest because they were targeted. Invariably, when these crises come, Baltimore, Ferguson, Oakland, Chicago, we look for more police for containment, but not HUD and Department of Labor and SBA and Commerce for development and affordable housing. The New York Times study last week said blacks are targeted 5 to 1 more than whites. It's not just the police. The banks were sued for racial targeting. Insurance companies, redlining, auto companies sued for predatory lending. Job market, racial targeting, criminal justice system, racial targeting. Race remains a painful and costly hangover for our past. Silicon Valley, let's change the face of technology. Economic justice. In Silicon Valley, we've ended the silence. An industry with just 2% blacks in the workforce, fewer in the boardrooms and executive suites, we deserve the same access and opportunity to everyone else. We demand it and we will win it. Right here in the South and in Atlanta, there's a great reservoir of talent. There's no talent deficit, there is an opportunity deficit. Who will step up in the gap and fight to close that gap? We're working with major companies to tap the existing pipeline of talent, expand the future generations to come. Inclusion and full representation in the tech industry, the civil rights imperative of this generation. Our good friend Ross Husnick from Intel is here. We worked through last year and they formulated a $300 million diversity investment fund to close the gap. She spoke about it this morning. They planned $100 million aimed toward HBCUs, $100 million to make the company look like America, and $100 million for startups. You ought to give Intel a big hand for that. Apple has made a historic $40 million grant to the Thurgood Marshall Fund to connect with HBCUs. Give it up for Apple. Google is embedding engineers to beef up their computer science curriculum. Yesterday we had a pitch competition. 2 black engineers from Tennessee State won the pitch. Give Tennessee State a big hand. HP now has 4 African Americans on their board, up from 0. Give it up for HP, making progress. Yesterday, Microsoft did a $14 billion debt offering, which included 5 minority firms. Give it up for Microsoft, whose chairman is John Thompson, a FAMU graduate. We need a president who will champion diversity and inclusion in the tech industry and make sure people of color are fully represented in the innovation economy. We need a president who will fight for a comprehensive urban policy, who fights the NRA to stop the flow of guns into our communities, that recognize that black lives matter and fights for justice in the criminal justice system. A president that combats the rising violence and racial profiling, that holds the banks accountable for the continuing devastation of communities stemming from the foreclosure crisis. A president that bails out the people and not just the banks. We all pay the price for structural injustice for this new South. We must go from racial battleground, the economic common ground, the moral higher ground. Life is not a zero-sum game. Lastly, when the walls are up, it's like a one-eyed quarterback. We miss half the field. We can't see money, market, talent, and growth. With all of the mud thrown, the confusion sown in this year's political season, Hillary, people need to hear a word about what matters. For the Silicon Valley of South Carolina, we need to hear a word. Justice matters. You've been through the fire. It only separates alloy from metal. Surviving the fires matter. Remember they tackle the one with the ball. Keep running. You can survive the hits. You get your stars from your scars. Keep running. You have been tested. We've known Hillary Clinton across the years. When I first met you, you were doing free legal work in the Delta of Mississippi and Arkansas. On the board of the Children's Defense Fund, in the White House fighting for health care, in the U.S. Senate, negotiating with world's leaders as Secretary of State. Hillary, let nothing break your spirit. Continue to lift as you climb. Remember, character is measured by how you treat the least of these. I present to you for your own, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, they will hear from heaven. God will heal their sins. It's healing time. It's hope time. It's Hillary Clinton time.
You know, you would think I'd have learned by now not to follow him to a microphone. That's been the story of our relationship over all these years that we've known each other and worked with each other. Probably the most well-known of those occasions is I had to follow him to the microphone at the DNC convention in Chicago in 1996. Oh, yes, and then he did just remind me that I did have to ask him to leave our house one night in the 1980s because he and my husband and a few other folks had started talking around lunch, as I recall. Everybody began dropping off except for Jesse and Bill, and they just kept going. And it finally got to be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It was after midnight. And I said to him, you know, I love you, but you got to leave. But it is wonderful to be here with all of you, especially to celebrate the continuing work that so many of you have done that has really made it possible for people of all ages, but particularly young people, to feel that opportunity was there, to find ways to live up to their own God-given potential by having doors opened or knocked down, having ladders built or once again put up, and knowing that you all have played a role in this, the clergy, business, activists, professionals, all of you. And I really am here today to say thank you. And I want to echo what you just heard and what you will no doubt hear from Dr. Haynes. They're really sandwiching me between two great orators today. And I wish I could stay and hear Dr. Haynes as well, but I do have to get over to Clark for a big event we're having there to lay out the agenda that I am promoting in this campaign, to stand against systemic racism and injustice, to remind us that the work is not yet done and we should not grow weary in doing it. We have to take on the continuing abuses where oppression is more prevalent than opportunity. We have to light the eyes of young people again so that they believe in their own dreams and the potential of achieving them. We have to create those channels of opportunity so that you go from childhood to adulthood pursuing your dreams instead of from cradle to prison and seeing them die. And it will be absolutely critical that we all work together on this. You know, a president can do a lot, and we have seen how hard it is to get things done with President Obama. You know, I remember so well after that election in 2008, he called me, asked me to come to Chicago. It was just the two of us. I didn't know why he wanted to see me. It turned out he wanted to ask me to be Secretary of State. But before we got into all of that, he looked at me and he said, "It's so much worse than they told us." The economy was not just flat on its back, it had dropped into a hole. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month. By the end of it, 9 million Americans had lost their jobs, 5 million had lost their homes, and $13 trillion of family wealth had disappeared. And as with so much else in our country, that disproportionately hit black families, black workers, black dreams. And the president got to work. He saved us, I believe, from a Great Depression. He doesn't get the credit he deserves for what he did to help our economy recover and put us back on our feet. So we are standing, but we're not yet running. And it will be up to me, assuming we get this done, to be a president who builds on what we have achieved and goes even further. And I cannot do it without all of you. Because the messages we need to send have to come from every part of our society. There is so much work to be done, and it is good work. Yes, there is healing to be done, but there is also hope to be revitalized. There are opportunities we're just beginning to understand, because Jesse's absolutely right. We won't know how good we are until everybody can play on the American team, that everybody can suit up and pursue their dreams, and by doing so, make us all the better. So I'm laying out policies and I'm talking about plans, but at the heart of it, I want us to start respecting each other. I want us to be kinder again to each other. I want us to love each other as we are called to do, those of us who are people of faith. And maybe you can't run for president on a love and kindness platform, but I am going to try. Amen. Because unless we can begin seeing ourselves walk in the other's shoes, this great experiment known as America will not be all it can and should be. So whether it's a child who is too hungry to learn, or whether it's a small business that doesn't get the help and support it needs to start and grow, or whether it's a youngster who never had the help growing up that enabled him to make the right decisions, and instead of getting a second chance, gets none. Whatever the situation that our fellow men and women and those boys and girls looking up to us find themselves in, we have to start behaving like we are all part of the same family, and that every child is our child. As Jesse said, I was blessed to start off my professional career working for the Children's Defense Fund. Marian Wright Edelman is one of my mentors and one of my friends. And she gave me such a great gift. You know, I actually got the first job I had with her by going up to her after I heard her speak and saying, I want to come to work for you. And she said, well, that's wonderful, except I have no money to pay you. I said, so if I can figure out how to get myself paid, you'll give me a job? She goes, well, I'm not going to turn that down. So I got a Law Student Civil Rights Research Council internship and went to work, and then as soon as I graduated, went back to work and served on the board. And her passion and her faith that we could do better not just inspired me, but challenged me. Because I know we can, and I know we must. Yes. So as we think about how to create more opportunity, let's also think about how we do it with more kindness and love, and how we create a country that is worthy of our best dreams. That's what I want to do, working with you to be your partner. That's what I think we must do together. Thank you all very much. Thanks, my friend.
Come on, I know you might have a little food on your stomach, but don't Don't worry, put your hands together. Let's serve the Lord together. Come on. I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. Come on, I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. Well, sometimes I get tired, and sometimes I get weak. That's why I'm calling your name. Yeah, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. Come on, I'm calling your name, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord. Well, sometimes I get tired, and sometimes I get weak. That's why I'm calling your name. Yeah, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. I'm praying this prayer right now, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord. Come on, I'm praying this prayer right now, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord. Well, sometimes my way get hard, and sometimes my way get hard. That's why I'm calling your name. Yeah, 'cause I need you right now, Lord. Oh, I'm singing this song right now, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord. Hey, Lord, I'm singing this song right now, 'cause I need you, Lord, right now, Lord. Oh, sometimes I get tired. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I get weak. But I'm calling your name. Yeah, 'cause I need you. Come on. Right now, put your hands together. Hey, oh. Hey. Whoa. Come on and put your hands together. Anybody love the Lord? Whoa, yeah. Whoa. Sometimes I get tired. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I get weak. But I'm calling your name. Yeah, 'cause I need you right now. Oh, right now, Lord. Right now, Lord. Come on, right now. Right now, Lord. I'm sick in my body right now. Right now, Lord. And I need your power, Lord. Right now, Lord. Come on, right now, Lord. Right now, Lord. I need you right now, Lord. Right now, Lord. I'm sick in my body right now, Lord. Right now, Lord. And I need your power, Lord. Right now, hey! Oh, right now, Lord. Come on, right now, Lord. Right now, Lord. I need right now. Right now, right now, I need you to hold me. Right now, and I need your power, Lord. Right now, I know you can.
Hi, you guys. You know, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. I know it was an awesome event, right? I know you learned some awesome things. Hillary Clinton, she did her thing. And Reverend Jesse Jackson, we love them. They are trailblazers, and guess what? You are a trailblazer as well. You are a life changer. You change the world. You influence the world just by being here. Guess what? You have to continue to have hope. Because if you have hope, guess what? You can actually help somebody else be in their purpose. Because you walking in your purpose. If you're not walking your purpose, guess what? You got to believe, you got to trust, and you got to walk it out. You got to step out in faith, and you can do it. You know, we love you here so much here at Good Deeds. Continue to support us, and we'll continue to support you in the things that you do as well. Contact us for anything you may need for advertising, sponsorship, whatever, okay? We love you here at Good Deeds. This is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday.